time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride? Never tried. You will never know. You ain't never tried. Work it out. Hit the gym, hit the field. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Mid beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together. Like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Mid beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me if
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from the Superdome. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Ready? 780, 20.
I'm trying to collect. Switch.
Ready?
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jerick McKinnon. 77 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they have both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Check right 47. Come on, D. March 47.
From the gun, Jackson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
You got 3 down.
Out to the right, here's McKinnon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Meanwhile, here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Now, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Mike 50. No chance.
Go.
On 2nd and 15 now. Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Looking long for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. after the penalty. It's Henry. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
26 Mike, 26 Mike. I got you.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Now he's going to go deep down the left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll toss it to Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Jackson. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And caught by Henry. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Tackle. 90 is a mic. We ain't giving them nothing to do. 90 is a mic. Here I come again.
On 3rd down, Jackson. They still can't get him. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Derrick Henry. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So second and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
Kill. 25, check 25, check 25. Shift.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 9th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
No. Check 3. 20. 51 to Mike. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Just beating the play clock is Newton. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the run, Newton going to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd down, McKinnon. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
To typically we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Great.
The shotgun snap for Newton. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 19. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Gun.
Check 43.
Back to throw, Newton. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Gun.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. A lot of times, Charles, when you see guys miss easy ones like this, you can attribute a lot of that to the sharp angle.
You sure can. You've got to shift your aim a little left or right. And here, he just kicks this one straight on, and it doesn't have enough cut to it, so it winds up off the upright.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
March 47. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Throwing is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a handoff here to his running back. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
You. Hey, alert three.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick, rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 62 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Great.
Watch the whip. 51's Mike. Mike 51. Watch the slant.
Off play action. Newton. That's caught. It's Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
A carry here for the big tight end. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Punching it in from a yard away. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. What's good on the extra point? And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
43's the mic. 43.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And some room to work. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Henry out of the pistol. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10.
26 Mike. 26 Mike. Good trap. Good trap.
Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 45-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Third and 2, here's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 46 yards as the Ravens push further out in front.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Newton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
You can't block me. Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Go. Bring it. Let's go. 66. Pull it. Half. 66. 47 to Mike. Here we go. Here we go.
After the interception, here's Jackson looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Newton to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run it with McKinnon. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Here again is McKinnon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 5.
From the gun, here's Newton. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Watch the edge. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover. Hey.
From the 31, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
Jackson now. Being chased out left. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson uncorks one for Davis. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Davis, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
17.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run once more with McKinnon. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. 3rd and short, McKinnon. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Oh, here we go. Oh, say. He's great. 8. 20. Here we go.
Now Newton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 4th down, Newton finding Gabriel complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Flushed out right. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Here's Newton. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 18.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now, Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. That'll bring up second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Space to maneuver at the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Here's McKinnon. Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Running right through him. They can't tackle him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
18 on the play. And the Ravens first down.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll run with Henry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On second down, here's Henry. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Baltimore, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign shoes with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad, pesto. If you wanna go